Hello, my name is Nicah. I'm a sophomore at Pomona. I'm currently a molecular biology major. Yeah.
Ikaw ang lahat sa akin, kahit ika'y
I was born in the Philippines, and then when I was around 7 or 8 years old, I moved to America, and I've lived in SoCal since. I was just so young when I left, and now I feel really Americanized that I think theoretically I do miss the Philippines that I remember from back then, but I know that if I go back, it's going to be really different and I'll be in for a shock. I remember when we first arrived at America, my dad bought like a radio, like a CD player from a garage sale or something, and we would we had a bunch of CDs that he would play every weekend morning that would wake us up, and that was how we would get woken up. It's a genre called OPM, which stands for Original Pinoy Music, which isn't that much of a genre. I guess it's not a good descriptor, but it's a bunch of really like old-fashioned love songs. My dad loved love songs. I remember he would, whenever we would wake up, he would kind of like pick us up and we would like dance around like our small room. Whenever I feel really nostalgic or when I miss home, I just, go on Spotify and listen to those songs, and then try to like find some way to eat Filipino food here, which is hard. My parents, whenever I come home, they always ask me, oh, what do you want to eat? And I always just say Filipino food. Anything Filipino I will love and will eat wholeheartedly. I went to a boarding school, and there was a faculty member who was also Filipina, and my senior year she would invite me to her house and we would cook so many like Filipino favorites. Like I know one time we cooked adobo, which is, it's like chicken soup but with soy sauce and vinegar, so definitely had a kick to it, but that like drizzle over rice was the best. So there's that. I think that's kind of the OG Filipino food. Another all-time favorite of mine is sinigang. Sinigang is kind of a tamarind soup with a lot of vegetables and then any type of meat you want, or not, I guess. I definitely think first year I really struggled a lot because before that, I had never really felt like I had somebody to confide with or someone to relate with being Filipino. Kind of like when you tag all your friends in those types of memes. Like I didn't really have anybody like that, so I was really disappointed, a little like hurt. I don't know at what. I just knew that I was hurt that I couldn't find anything to relate to until I found Kasama, which is the Filipino group on campus, and that I think is where I really started to build a community there, because I felt that they understood what I was going through and they really could relate to it, and they made me feel, like appreciated, and they made my thoughts feel valid. This year I'm on the e-board as vice president, so I kind of manage our social affairs and stuff. It makes me feel good to think that I could potentially help someone help up to that point where I am now.
I think that it's definitely important to keep in mind that your story does matter, even if you yourself don't think that. I remember thinking back to how I felt around this time last year, and it was really hard to accept myself. I think that anybody will have trouble accepting themselves for different reasons, and it takes a lot of time and energy to keep telling yourself that you matter and that your story matters and that people will listen to it, that there are people who are going to learn from it. But at the end of the day, even though it seems hard in that moment, it is true. There are going to be people who will be willing to listen, people who will be there for you, and whether or not they can relate to you.